Hey, it's good to see you all again. I'm Scott Foy. Sorry about the lack of videos, but I've had a few exams and I've had a college interview which I had to prepare for. So no matter how much I wanted to put these videos up, I had to do a revision for that instead. So that might just shit my laptop. But anyway, this is my sixth vlog and it's going to be part two of my Japan trip. As you know, every part represents like a day in Japan, so this is my second full day in Japan. Okie dokie. On the second day of Japan, we went for a boat ride and to make some handkerchiefs. Doesn't sound all that interesting, but when we get into it, it is really fun. We had to wake up at 6 in the morning on that morning, and for me, that was absolute hell because me waking up at 6 is close to impossible because I just hate waking up. As everybody does, nobody likes to wake up. But fortunately, the teacher that I was staying with, because as you know, I had to stay with the teacher because unfortunately the Mushiki's grandmother died. So yeah, and disappointed. But anyway, staying with his teacher, he knew how to wake kids up because he'd been doing it in class for so long, and so he kind of like tipped the bed over. Kind of, I was like staying on tatami mat floor, just like tiny mattress on the floor, just like pulled that out from under me to wake me up. It was probably funny. I wasn't annoyed at him like I usually would be because I actually quite liked him. He was quite a funny guy and he was probably young as well. I think he'd like been a teacher for like 2 years or something, but he was a really nice guy. And, yeah, I had a good laugh with him. But yeah, he woke me up. I had a shower and stuff, and then we got to school. When we got to school, we had to wait for all the other exchanges to get by because everybody lives at different points around the place. Don't just all live in one area, they live all around Osaka, some outside Osaka, and they all have to catch trains in. Some trains take like an hour, others 2 hours. So for the people who had to catch a train, like it takes 2 hours, I feel really sorry for them because they had to wake up even earlier, which I would not have been able to do. I would have had a fit and probably died if I had to wake up that early. But yeah, we caught a train to Osaka train station, which is a massive train station and kind of a mix of the Trafford Centre. If you've ever been to Manchester, the Trafford Centre is like a shopping centre, or if you're an American, it's like Walmart or something. It's like a huge shopping centre. Plus, it was really cool. They had everything in there, but we didn't get to adventure at this point. We just had to catch the train. We got to catch the bullet train, which is the first bullet train that I've ever caught, and it was absolutely amazing. If you don't know what one is, a bullet train is the really fast trains that the face with kind of looks like a bullet. And I've never been on one before. I just thought it'd be like any other train, just a little bit faster. But it's kind of like an airplane, to be honest, because you got your own separate seats, and then you got those little pull-down trays. I know it doesn't seem much, but then you get that hostess coming down with a trolley with food and stuff, and I was just reminded of a plane flight. But I loved the trolley hostess because she gave me like a Coke, which I've never seen before. It's like it was a can of Coke with a screw-on lid. It was absolutely amazing. I know it doesn't sound that amazing, but I was just fascinated by it, so I've kept it for so. I've still got it in my bag downstairs. I would go and get it for you, but I can't be arsed. Yeah, it was a really awesome Coke can. And yeah, the bullet train took us about an hour to go somewhere because it's a really, really long way away. And yeah, it was probably nice. So we got off at the station and we caught another bullet train, which would take us to the mountainy bit that we stayed at. I don't know the name. Just never asked me to name these places because I just cannot remember these Japanese names. I really can't. It's really hard. But we got a bullet train to there. Pretty much the same type of bullet train. We had time to get a McDonald's in between, I think. And that was probably the best bit. We all ran to McDonald's, got Mickey D's, then ran back. And then I'll tell you another story in the next. Yeah, it'll be in this video as well. No, it'll be. Fuck off. But yeah, well, when we got there, we had to catch a skylift, which is a sort of a car lifted by wire up the hill. We got on one of them. While we were on it, we got to see a bunch of beautiful, beautiful scenery, beautiful Japanese mountains, and I know you might actually imagine life. But I love these because I live in England and there's shit all. There's no mountains here where I live. I did live in Scotland, so I got a fair amount there, but yeah. Once we got up, we had to wait a centre to wait for another train. This one was like a tourist train or a fun train, just a short train to take you along the river's course and then up to the top where you get dropped off. When we were on the train, we got to meet a awesome little Japanese guy who came round the trains dressed up with some awesome mask on, pretending to be some kind of spirit or something. And it was really funny because he came up to me and a bunch of other exchanges, and like he started talking to us, and we had no idea what he was saying. He was just like, he said it to me, and I was just like, yeah, hi, nice to meet you too. And then, oh, and stuff, and they just walked out the carriage. But unfortunately, one of the exchanges dropped her phone under the train when we were waiting for it. So unfortunately for her, she lost her phone for the rest of that day, but she got it returned. I just thought I'd mention that just to warn you, don't drop your phone under a train. It's not a good idea. But yeah, when we got to the top, we caught a coach to the boat station, which is where we caught the traditional boats. And it was like a wooden boat. I don't really trust wooden boats, to be honest, because I don't know, I just don't like them. But once we started going, I realised it was probably safe because these guys knew what they were doing. It was one of those boats where they had the sticks and they pushed it along the bottom of the river, going with the current. And it was really good. They pointed out different points along the river, like special places where things happened. And one was a rock where I think a royal person had gone fishing. He caught a fish, and I was like, good to know. Good to know that fish was caught there by a rich guy. But obviously there's some appeal to tourists. I didn't really say I liked the boat ride. That was a good part. But the thing about the rocks and stuff was kind of weird. We only just understood them as well because they didn't speak any English, people on the boat. Fortunately, thought we had like a translator lady with us, and she told us all about it. But halfway, no, yeah, at the end of the boat ride, we pulled up next to another boat, which is kind of like a corner shop on the lake, actually. And they were selling something kind of like fried squid or something. And I was really tempted to get some of this fried squid because it didn't look that bad. But I knew because I'd had some squid with my teacher, it's just not something that you want. Even though I did want it, I didn't get it. I got something called dango, which is like soft dough balls and some like sweet sauce on a stick. Don't take that the wrong way, please. That's really immature. It's immature of me to think of it. But yeah, they were really nice, and I almost bought some beer. I didn't know that I was buying it, of course, but I pointed to some can, and then he said something to me, and then he gave me it, and I paid him. And then the teacher tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Scott, you're buying alcohol," and I was like, "Oh, shit." And I would have kept it because I want to taste Japanese beer, see if it's any different from British beer, which it probably isn't, but you know, yeah, I traded it in for a Coke. And they had some Coke and some dango, and then I think that was it for the river. We just pulled up next to the river. And we walked through a small little town to a bus that we were going to catch to the handkerchief making place. When we were in the town, it was a tourist resort. It was probably busy with a bunch of Japanese people. I saw like two American people, I think. That's all we saw that day, and I really wanted to go and talk to them, but I wasn't able to, unfortunately, because they were like on the other side of the road and we were in a rush. But yeah, we caught a bus to the handkerchief making place where we made handkerchiefs the traditional way, which was actually get some stencils with the random holes, get some ink and like paint over it. Well, not paint over it, smudge over it, and eventually made a flower pattern. There's not much to go into because that's literally all we did. I mean, it doesn't sound fun, but it is when you're with your mates. We had a good bit of banter. It was actually quite funny. So yeah, it was quite a good day. After that, we just caught a bus up to the train there, got train back, Skylift, and then the bullet train's back. On the bullet train back, when we stopped off at the halfway point, we had time to get McDonald's again. I got one, and a mate called Wesley got one as well. And a really funny thing happened. We were sat next to each other, and then some Japanese person sat next to the window, so we were on the aisle, and then he was at the window. And he just like put some sushi on the desk or something with his chopsticks and started eating it really slow, really self-conscious. And then me and Wesley would just put our massive McDonald's on the thing. I whipped up some Big Mac and started numbing on it like nothing else. And Wesley had some like double cheeseburger and he was eating that up. And then this guy he was slowly going into the corner, just crushing himself against the thing. And then we kind of made him paranoid because both what we did was just to annoy him. We stopped eating and just went. He just looked at him, afraid just to make him uncomfortable. And then eventually, I got my camera and I like dangled it, pretend like I was just like playing with my ear, sorting my glasses, and I dangled it so it would record me eating his sushi. And he saw it and he was just like, and then he just stopped eating his sushi, just like slowly folded it up and put it back in his bag, and then just looked out the window for the rest of the ride. It was really funny. And then when we got off the train to go home, We looked through the window and he was just there staring at us, looking proper relieved that we got off. Yeah, no, it's not fair to treat the Japanese that way, but we decided to do that because it was really funny. But after the car crash, as you know, I did hurt my knee, and on this day, my knee had been getting worse and worse, and by this time, I wasn't able to walk on it. Unfortunately, I was just in so much pain. And so I went to my teacher and said I might need to go to the hospital. And then my Japanese teacher, Professor Salzman, Tomita, he called up the hospital, booked me an appointment. We went there after we got back to the school. And when we went there, I got checked up by a doctor, I have a few x-rays. Now, there is a massive difference between Japanese hospitals and English hospitals. In our hospitals, you got a broken leg, and then you get an x-ray just to see where it's broken. They take ages, don't they? They're just like, they look at you and go, and walk off for a bit. Japanese people, oh no, they run. Literally, like, I went in for an x-ray, he put me on the table, so I got my knee there, and then it's like, you ran to the edge of the thing, ran back, ran there, put another board in my leg, just kept sprinting around, and I was like, laughing at him, and he's like, why are you laughing at me? And I was like, oh, it's just because you're like proper speedy compared to ours. And he's like, he didn't really understand me. And then he's just like, okay. But it turns out I'd sprained all the muscles in my knee in the crash. I don't exactly know how, but unfortunately it had happened. So I needed some like kind of medication. It was like a plaster, a massive pack of different square plasters about that big that you put on your knee and release medication slowly into your knee, and also got some pain medication tablets. Yeah, all together it cost the school 20,000 yen. It does sound a lot, and it is £200 worth of yen, that is. So it was quite expensive, but fortunately my school had brought insurance money to pay for things like this happening. So I was in luck there that I didn't have to pay for it myself. So I got all that done then. I went home after that. And I think that's all that happened on that day, to be honest. I just had some tea with the teacher and then I went to bed. And so we'll get to the next day in the next video. Please, if you would like to see more, know more, please like this video, and if you like what I do, these random little vlogs, please subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the faster I'll put videos out. So yeah, and the more likes I get, the faster I'll put this series of Japanese exchange out. So thank you for watching this video, if you have watched it the whole way through. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.